All right. What's going on? What is going on? Welcome to the stream. Come in, come in. Come in. We are live. Back with another live stream. Hope everyone is having a good time. Welcome to the stream. Sorry, I took a minute. I had to set up a vertical stream. I'm still kind of playing around with things here, but I wanted to kind of live stream while I'm going through the shorts feed as well. Hopefully bring some more discoverability to a small channel like me. But thank you so much for waiting. I hope everyone has had a fantastic holidays. Now, for those who are joining us that are new, we have started a series where I'm basically documenting everything in public. The fails, the wins, the confusion, the bits where I look a bit stupid. Live streaming everything. And I want to prove to everyone watching that it is possible that even a non-dev like me that has literally zero tech and coding experience can create a profitable app and, you know, prove the haters wrong. So without further ado, I kind of want to jump right into things today. I guess the mission today and the plan that I've got in mind is to work on the APK file. So what that basically means is converting this kind of web app that I've built and turning it into an Android app file. I've only ever done this once, so you guys are going to witness me being absolutely clueless on a lot of the things that we're doing. I remember one time I was like prompting AI and learning at the same time, and that shit ended up taking like 2 or 3 hours. Like, it was actually really bad. So what up, Nestorius? How you doing? What up, Halams? What's going on? Hope y'all having a good time. Let's chuck some music on. We got charge on this thing? I don't even have charge. All right, we're gonna go without music for like the first 10 minutes. These charge pretty quick, right? Shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, what's going on? What's going on, Nestorius? What's going on, Halams? What's poppin'? Welcome back to another stream. Took the day off yesterday. Was spending a bit of time with fam. Gotta hang out with fam and nurture your relationships, you know. Off the rip, I'm getting a question, man. It's too early in the morning for that. Too early in the morning for a question. I haven't even finished my coffee yet. The wallet connection issue is caused by previous allowed origins configuration. Your Replit development URL needs to be added to your Privy dashboard. All right, one more thing before I get started. I also want to mention that I need to set up the monetization of the app as well. So I was digging through DFlow's docs just before the stream. I just wanted to have a few things set up so there's no bugs or anything. So I was kind of sitting on my table like right here for like the last hour, and I was able to find some documents that would help me with the monetization of the app. Again, I'm a no code, like I know nothing about code. My background is in marketing. Like, I need well documented shit when it comes to vibe coding, because otherwise chances are I'm probably not gonna get much done. So asking this guy, and I was like, this is the DFlow growth lead. And I just realized you can't see because I'm not sharing my screen. So here we go. Basically asked this guy, like, yo, through the API usage, will you guys be paying us, or are we expected to implement our own transaction fees on top of your API? And he said you can implement your own platform fees using the guides here. So basically just going to chuck this in to the chat, pray for the best, and see how we go. Nathara is saying I actually did some quick tip algorithms to improve output accuracy. Really easy to do. We imagined. That's pretty cool, man. Good to see that you're making progress. Are you working alongside me today in Natharius, or what's the go? Who's working alongside me today? Hoping to have a few of you. I like working alongside everyone, so because I feel like it's like we're almost like in a shared office space. It's like a virtual shared office space. You just have a guy like me that's talking all the time. Probably why I got kicked out of my last office. I actually used to share an office space with my brother, and because he runs a marketing agency, and he had a free desk, so I was like, I'll take it, but I'll just work on my own shit. And I actually left because I couldn't live stream. I was like, I always really wanted to live stream, and you know, it's kind of weird. I tried it once, actually. It was so awkward. I tried live streaming while everyone else behind me is just working, right? And it's so awkward because, like, while I'm trying to talk to you guys, everyone around me is like, what the hell is this motherfucker doing? Like, actually mad awkward. So, yeah, obviously stop that. Let me add the chat to the stream. I think old geezer like me can figure it out. I think it's social stream right here. That way you guys can see who's talking. All right, cool. Looks like it worked. We are good to go. Sweet. We're up. Yo, for everyone wondering, there are 2 live streams right now. One is the shorts live stream. One is the horizontal live stream. I'll kind of be focusing on the horizontal live stream. So anyone on the shorts live stream, just come over to the horizontal one. I just want to see if discoverability is going to increase if I actually set up like a nice shorts feed. So I've actually created 2 live streams today. Hopefully that's not too confusing. But yeah, welcome. I've kind of got like a central chat interface here anyway. So I should be able to see everyone's chat. But yeah, let's get straight into it. I'm always working. Do you want the quick tip guide? Yeah, send it through, man. Send it through. I'll have to have a look. What up, Mr. Organics? Yeah, I saw you commenting on the other one. What up? What up? Looks like we got Sharuk's Bollywood in the vertical stream as well. Pull over to the horizontal if you want to have a good time. I'll play some music in a bit, but right now my headphones are out of battery. So what I want to do is I want to get the, oh my God, $3.80 for a single prompt. By the way, can I just say that? Get wrecked is crazy. All right, thanks, Nantharis. I see you. You're trying to mess with me, huh? Trying to mess with me. So $3.80 for a single prompt is actually diabolical, man. $4.65 for a single prompt. Can you guys see that, or is it too small? That is insanely expensive. I think maybe tomorrow's live stream, I actually want to focus on Claude code, and I want to maybe watch a few tutorials with you guys on how Claude code works and basically how to use it. I found a really good one on X, or formerly known as Twitter. So maybe that'll be tomorrow's stream, just like kind of learning and figuring out how to use Claude code. Because essentially what I want to do is upload this app to GitHub and then start using Claude code, whether that's going to be through anti-gravity or some other sort of tool. But yeah, that's kind of the goal with tomorrow's stream, because honestly, Replit is charging me ridiculous amounts of money right now. Like, let me actually just quickly show you before I get started just how much is being charged out of my bank account, because it actually is insane. Look at this. So this month alone, I have been charged $590, okay? Just for using Replit. And, you know, I don't think this is normal. I don't think it's normal to get charged this amount, but I've just been working that much that I've been using so many AI tokens that it is just charging me a shit ton of money. Like, it's getting to the point where I was like, oh yeah, like I'll put aside like a few $100 towards AI vibe coding. That's chill. And it's just eating away at that in the first like 10 days of me using it. Like, look at these invoices, man. Look at this shit. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55. Sometimes they'll charge me $55 twice in 2 days. So I'm almost getting taxed for working hard. It's actually insane. Look at this. One day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times I got charged $50. Like, it is insane. But anyway, let's get into it. Notorious saying to use ChatGPT 5.2. Pass your requirements doc to Gemini. I have a PRD, determine optimizations, improvements for algorithms with the PRD, and provide a list. Have removed and which algorithms you have added. Pass feedback from Gemini back to GPT. Man, that sounds like a lot of work though. That sounds like a lot. What's the prompt that you're using? Like, is there like a generalized prompt, or what's the go? Skipped a bunch of steps. What do you mean? I missed an entire message. You got to open questions and answer those questions, work with... Oh yeah, I've done this. I've actually done this before. You're almost like creating like a mini workshop, right? Where ChatGPT kind of asks you the questions, and then you come back with questions, and you go back and forth, and that's how you kind of create your like brain for the project. Is that what you're talking about? Because I've done that before, mainly for marketing side though, not as much dev. All right, hold up. So what we're kind of aiming to do right now is monetize this app that I've built. So just a quick refresh. What you want to do, what this app kind of is it is a prediction market swipe app. Now, what that essentially means is, I think prediction markets are the meta right now. I think they have blown up. I'm going to show you some statistics live right now on why I think that. Again, I think it's really important to, do research before you dive deep into a project. So this is kind of the research that I did regarding this project, and it kind of validated my idea, and I'll share my hypothesis with you in a second. But yeah, this screen says everything that you need to know. But in the last 7 days, Kalshi, Opinion, and Polymarket, if you add all these up, it adds to about $3 billion, okay? $3 billion in trading volume going back and forth in Kalshi, Opinion, Polymarket. And, you might think that, what up, Doc for Life, how you doing? You might think that the way that the house makes money, the bulk of its money is through, winning, or like when other people lose, right? But you're actually wrong. Like, obviously that is one of the methods that the house does make money, is when you lose a bet. But its actual main monetization strategy is through transaction fees. If they've got $3 billion in trading volume going through their platform, like 1%, you charge a 1% fee of $3 billion, and you're at $30 million in revenue in your 7 days of trading volume of your platform being operational. that is a lot of money, you know? So we're kind of using a similar strategy with our swipe app, where it's basically a prediction swipe tool that uses the Cowshy API. Because as you can see here, Cowshy is the #1 leading platform right now. And yeah, I think there's big opportunity in launching lots of wrappers, these prediction market wrappers, because you might be able to get a little piece of the pie. This is the kind of chart that I showed everyone last live stream. It's a bit messy, but 1% of 3 billion is 30 million. And then even 1% of that is 300,000. If you're a one-man team and your app is generating 1% of the 1% of their volume, $300,000, and you take a 1% fee, that's $3,000 a week. So, that's kind of the mindset that I'm going into with this challenge. I think this is how we're going to be able to reach our goal, is to just really hit those trending markets, whether it's prediction markets, I'm not sure what the next trend is going to be, but just keep jumping on these trends and seeing how we go. That's kind of the whole strategy. Let me know if you guys think that's a good idea or have any other thoughts. Are there other, and maybe there's another trend that I'm not looking at, but yeah, I really think that prediction market is the way to go. Man, that coffee tastes good in the morning. That first sip of coffee in the morning. I remember as a kid, when adults would always talk about, that first sip of coffee. I always think, like, man, such an old person thing to say. Now I'm here saying it like, man, how times change. How times change. All right, so have I got this copied? Yep. All right, please read the docs. Actually, before I tell it to read the docs, I should probably read it first. Basically, what we're trying to do right now is we're trying to monetize my app, because basically people are just using the app for free right now. I haven't really implemented any way to monetize the app. Like, I haven't created those transaction fee mechanics that I told you that these guys are utilizing. So that's kind of what I want to work on today. And I also want to turn it into an APK file, which, for those who don't know, an APK file is basically a way to connect it to a Android device. It's like an Android app file. And I've only ever done that once, so don't judge me if I do a shit job and it takes me like 10 hours. But that's the plan. So let's have a look at these platform docs real quick. Rent-A-Cutter, I've only been watching 2 streams, but I haven't seen you working productively yet. Let's go. What, you think I'm lazy? You think I ain't using my time efficiently? What are you trying to say, Rent-A-Cutter? What are you trying to say, huh? Dynamic fees with platform fee scales. All right. Step-by-step guide to implementing platform fees with the dflow trade API. This guide shows you how to implement platform fees on trading using the dflow trade API. Fix fees with platform fee BPS. Use platform fee BPS to specify a fixed fee in basic points. Control which token the fee is collected from using platform fee. Okay. See, now I'm not sure if dynamic fees with platform fee scales. Yo, Netharius. So my first kind of understanding about this would just be to kind of chuck this into Gemini, right? And then ask Gemini to provide, because obviously what do I know about platform fees and whatnot? So my initial thing to do would just be copy paste this into Gemini and ask it to create its own platform fee structure. Do you think that's a good idea, or should I just kind of wing it? Like 1% in my mind is what I've got, but maybe that's a bit too high. Like, what are Cowshy and Polymarket doing. Cauchy transaction fees. So Cauchy transaction fees are dynamic based on percentage of contracts expected earnings, meaning fees are lower for very likely, unlikely outcomes, closer to 1 cent to 90 per 99 cents, and higher for 50-50 chances with a fixed fee for debit card deposits. Interesting. That sounds pretty complicated. Can we like simplify things? How would you suggest I do it, Nothorius, if you think that is an inaccurate way to do it? What do you reckon? How would you tackle this problem? Because I'm thinking that I'm not an expertise in this field, so I shouldn't try to be, you know? What's Polymarket do? They got a fees section here. The thing is, can I charge more? Because I am a smaller app. You know, I think economies of scale say that, you know, the more volume that's coming in, you will be able to charge a smaller fee. But because we are quite a small app, we should be able to charge higher, right? So I'm asking two different questions. I mean, wouldn't you say the implementation plan is already here? Like they've kind of done it for us, right? And we're just copying and pasting it in. It looks like they've got basic example, collect fee from input, mint, other endpoints. So it looks like they've got two options here: fixed fees and dynamic fees. So I guess when it comes to implementation plan, it would be between these two, right? Those are examples, not an implementation plan. Okay. So you're saying I'm going a bit too far ahead. I think I should go back a bit. Igor, what up? How have you made $1,672 in such a short span of time? Yeah, I can show you. So I actually launched Ore Miner. I'll get back to you in a second. Nothorius. How do I even say your name? Am I even saying it right? So I built Ore Miner, Igor, and any other viewers watching, and it has essentially generated me consistently between $10 to $50 every single day. I'm trying to show you the landing page. So this is Ore Miner, and it runs on a very similar monetization strategy that I'm planning to do with Sway, where you can kind of see here, like every single couple of minutes, it is getting, this is my developer wallet, I should add. And every couple of minutes I get like microtransactions. And this is essentially how I've been generating my revenue. And there is this community made platform that kind of tracks all the competitors in my space, and you can kind of see how much money has been generated. Now I live in Australia, so you know, if you were to convert this into Australian dollars, adds up to around $1,600. But yeah, for those wondering, that is how I made my first $1,600. It's also worth noting that this app has actually been out for longer than I've started this series. The app has been, I think I coded it maybe like, I say coded, but I vibe coded it maybe like a month and a half ago. And I think, yeah, I kind of just transitioned over to this series because I was like, you know, I want to document everything because I don't want to just do this in private. All right, Notorious, help me out here. What are we doing? So you need to, 1, determine between fixed and dynamic. 2, determine the amount. 3, create a requirement doc. 4, create an implementation plan. So you'd go to ChatGPT 5.2 and ask it about fixed versus dynamic for your use case and size. You need to do some research. Nestherus, the like thin, air like hair. Nestherus. I like saying it, Nestherus. Do you use Claude Code, Lovable Cursor, or I don't know? I'm actually using Replit right now, and I would not recommend it because the fees are out the wazoo, like just insane. I'm getting charged like $50 every single day. Some days I get charged like $200. I'm getting taxed for working hard is how I see it. So I think I'm going to switch. Maybe I'm going to try that tomorrow's stream. But yeah, let's see. Let's try what Nestorius was saying. So 5.2. I am trying to create a fee structure for my Sway app. The prediction markets Tinder like swiping app. However, I am not very educated in the how fees structures work and what to charge for my app. The thing is, like with the ore miner, I charged 0.25%, which was definitely on the higher end. I remember when I first created it, I thought it was on the lower end. I was like 1% fee, but I quickly realized because the volume actually gets flushed through your app, and 9 times out of 10, that same amount of volume gets used again and again and again. So $100 could actually generate $1,000 of volume on your platform. So charging a 1% fee isn't actually fair for that sort of trading bot that I built. So yeah, that's about as far as my knowledge goes. Interesting. So Nefarious is suggesting that whatever ChatGPT says, I pass on to Gemini, and Gemini will basically argue against it until they both agree. All right, let's actually try that. Maybe I can merge these two together. All right, so I'm trying to create a fee structure for my Sway app. The prediction markets Tinder line like swiping app. However, I am not very educated in how fee structures work and what to charge for my app. I'm curious as to how Kalshi and Polymarket do it. However, I also am aware that economies of scale allow these larger platforms to charge much lower fees. That in mind, what do you suggest? From my understanding and looking at the API docs provided to me, there are, should probably link this as well. There are dynamic fees and was it set fees? Fixed fees. There are dynamic fees and fixed fees. A quick skim of the Kalshi fees page suggests they actually utilize both. Please give me a breakdown and suggestions. Here are the API docs. So I can't just pass it on to Gemini. I have to say this plan is stupid, I don't agree. You have to make them fight each other as two different people that disagree. What up, Blaine? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I basically act as an HR and give him disciplinary actions and cut his salary or threaten to shut off his server and he behaves as I want. Yo, what if AI takes over, man? You're going to be like their first victim. Gemini through Sysophancy will take your side and push back wherever it can. If it can't push back, then it will fight you instead, which means the plan is good. If both AI a lie, then good plan. So you can't just pass it on to Gemini. You have to act as two different people that disagree. Okay. Also, you need to tell ChatGPT 5.2 to actually do web search, not just rely on its historics. It needs to look up trends and practices. You're going way too deep into API docs, so it's not going to give you a correct answer. You pivoted it towards implementation rather than your question. You also pivoted it towards heuristics. You just got a bad answer. So how do you suggest I alter this prompt? So you think I should actually take the API docs out? I'm thinking also search the web and find the best answer. However, I'm not very educated in how fee structures work and want to charge for my app. I'm curious as to how Kalshi and Polymarket do it. So aware that economics of scale. But the thing is, these are all questions that I have, right? So, you know, the answer might look bad to you, but to me, it's answering genuine questions that I have right now. All right, so I took out the... All right, let me actually look at the first one first, because I didn't even give it a chance. All right, how big platforms do it? Kalshi typically uses 2 layers, trading fees, a small percentage, 0.7 to 1%. Example, settlement contract fees, flat fees per contract or per market. Fixed fees, a flat charge per action. Okay. Honestly, I don't love that. Not a huge fan of that. I mean, if you think of how just the deposit functions on this app, when a user goes in to deposit Solana, the Solana then needs to be converted into USDC because that's what the API uses to then use that USDC into like positions and trading. But we also need gas fees for the user. So I've had to create like a dynamic structure here where there's just like when a user deposits like 1 Solana, for example, the majority of that gets converted into USDC while a fraction gets stays as Solana. And that way it can like trade. So I feel like it's almost like that, but in reverse. Don't mention the API for one. You need to really focus on your use case, trends, and practices. What people tend to do, don't focus on implementation, focus on fee structure. Yes, but you can't ask all those questions in one go. Those are separate prompts. GPT is terrible with noise. That's why you got a bad answer. Its speed means it also didn't research. So it's talking about you specifically without looking at others in your position, hence bad answer. Now I would take this answer, build a plan with Claude Code, then push this to the database schema. I don't know if you have this built out yet. Wouldn't spend much more time on this one. Gringo Code. How you doing, bro? What up? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Man, it's good to see everyone coming in and helping me out. All right, let's try this again. I mean, it's not bad. It's provided suggestions, but maybe, you know, you could also go thinking, which makes it actually think for a bit longer. Let's try this. I'll try your suggestion without the API docs. I won't even mention it. So I think what you're trying to get me to do, Netheros, is to kind of like eliminate bias. Like eliminate any bias that sways the AI to say a certain thing. Is that what you're kind of on? Create a feature from a sway out. The prediction markets Tinder like swiping out. Okay. Alright. I might even just keep it at that. Please provide suggestions on what I should do. I keep it more open-ended. You can't do it. So what? You got to create like a new chat interface entirely. Is that what you're saying? You got to tell me these things, Netheros. I don't know. I'm not an AI god. I'm a human. I'm practically an NPC at this point. I mean, it's thinking for longer. The other thing is I need to figure out how to do the APK files. Okay, so it's looking. Below is a practical way to design Sway's fee model using what your execution layer dflow actually supports, plus what the incumbents do. All right, I'm going to copy this into Gemini. It's actually changed this answer. So what? Now I'm like, this, I don't agree with this fee structure for my Sway app, the prediction market Tinder app. What do you think? What up? I am actually the real God. Welcome back, brother. Good to see you. You also need to have it search for other companies of your size in your position, not just the two you mentioned, your specific situation. Yes, you need to know how to use the model. What has he built so far? Spending a lot of time on the fee. What up, Gringo? So I've actually built Ore Miner, which is basically a crypto trading bot. It alone does like a 0.25% fee. So what's generated all my revenue in the title. But yeah, I'm kind of just, usually what I would do is I would just freeball this shit and just go hard into just kind of making up my own fee structure based on my own knowledge. But, I'm here to take suggestions. I'm here to learn. I know I don't have all the answers. So that's kind of why I'm spending a bit more time on this, Gringo. Because it's a marathon, not a sprint at the end of the day. And, there's a lot of smart people in the chat. And ideally, I'd like to utilize it, like why like build all this by myself when I can just ask the chat and help me out? Like I've already learnt so much from my chat. It is actually crazy. Like the amount I feel like I've improved over the last, 7 days, 7 live streams is actually insane. So now I'm like more open than ever to listen to my chat because I've seen the power of it firsthand already. It makes sense that you're pushing back. If Sway is Tinder for markets, a heavy fee structure can kill the dopamine loop of the swiping experience. Yo, that is like the first thought that I had in the back of my mind. If a user swipes yes on a $5 bet and sees a 5-cent fee every time, the friction starts to outweigh the fun. Here's a critique of why that proposed structure might be wrong for your specific app and a Sway first alternative. Why the proposed model might fail. The microtransaction problem, 50 bits per second, sounds small, but on a $1 to $5 swipe, it feels like nickeling and dimming. If the UI has to show a breakdown of fees every time a user swipes, it breaks the flow. Fixed percentage fees work for traders who use calculators. They don't work as well for casual swipers who just want to know, what do I win? Yo, Gringo, I feel like this is kind of proving my point exactly. Transparency versus friction. Now a consultant reviewed your plan and said this, and then post Gemini's reply and say, I really believe in your plan. I really need to convince them, but they are very stubborn. Cool. All right, let's see. That's actually funny. Yo, Nefarious. I actually love that. Consultant reviewed your plan and said this. However, I really liked your plan. What do you think? What should I say to the consultant? All right. Do you let it like keep thinking like this hard though, Notorious? Like I feel like do you need it to do the research every single time? 30 minutes, I mean, hopefully it doesn't take that long. But maybe in the meantime I can also like up the stream if you haven't already. If any new people coming in wondering what's going on, we're basically making 2 AI agents fight each other so we can figure out what the best fee structure is. All right, let's see what it said. You can agree with the product psychology of their critique while pushing back on a few points that matter operationally: math accuracy, trust, transparency, and implementation constraints. Key points to hold your ground on Example is off. Trade is not. Oh, okay. So now I just put this in here. This is a particular multi-agent algorithm. I honestly run Pro on Gemini and thinking on ChatGPT 5.2. 30 minutes is faster for me. I've spent like 5 hours having them go back and forth, just copying and pasting. Dude, this is sick. This is actually really cool. And then I'd be like, but it's worth considering this. This is a sophisticated pushback. You're essentially prioritizing long-term brand trust, integrity, the all-in. Actually, I think I need to edit this. But it's worth considering this. What? Wait, what do you mean? Where? You need to not copy the entire response. You messed up. You need to copy their message. They said what I'd like to say. Ah, down here. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Bro, it's not letting me copy this thing, man. Ugh. Alright, let me update this prompt. But it's worth considering this. What I'd like to say regarding your argument. Nah, surely I can just change the prompt here. What I say regarding your argument. Let me know if you disagree about anything. Let's try this. I'm changing the original prompt to this new one. I think your pushback is spot on. You're prioritizing long-term brand equity over short-term in the crypto prediction market space. When I agree and disagree. It creates a value perception rather than a tax perception. Prioritizing long-term brand equity over short-term UI convenience in the crypto prediction market space. Hidden spreads often get labeled as scammy or predatory. Once users realize they aren't getting the market price they see on Polymarket or elsewhere. Your approach of using waivers and packaging creates a value perception rather than a tax perception. Agree, trust, agree, disagreement. Be careful with the settlement success fee. Psychologically, it's great. However, technically, if a market doesn't settle for 3 months, e.g. who wins the 2028 election, your revenue is locked up for 3 years. You need a mix of immediate revenue to keep the lights on and delayed revenue, the jackpot moments. All right. The consultant came back with this response. However, I liked where you were coming from. It's a bad answer from Gemini. Even if it argues because you framed it as you saying it rather than asking Gemini to fight on your behalf. I see. So it's all about the guiding it. But honestly, I feel like previous to what I said, this is kind of probably closest to what I had in mind before. Like this fee structure makes sense to me. Strong and important. What you should say: goal align, choose a hybrid, and ask them to help you operationalize it. You can send something like, "Why are you going to anchor on waves?" So this consultant back with this response: please fight back on my behalf on anything you disagree with. But they'll continue to refine it to beyond what you had in mind. Thanks for the tip, Nothorius. Appreciate it. All right, this is a solid refinement, but if I'm fighting on your behalf to protect the Sway vibe, there are a few places where the consultant is still thinking like a banker and not a game designer. Here's my critique of their proposal and where you should push back to ensure the app doesn't feel clunky. The bike shedding on BPS. Push back on package A and C. The consultant suggests 25 beats per second with a 0.01 minimum. Fight for a $1 to $5 swipe. 25 BPS is... You literally cannot charge that meaningfully without the minimum. The recommendation: stop talking about basis points for micro trades. It's confusing. If the trade is under $10, it should be a flat fee. I like that. I actually really like that. Halams. Personally, I don't think you need any of these tiers. You put a rake on the amount gambled. You can learn about the users and define tiers as you collect more data. I don't see why anyone would pay an entry price for this. You are going to block user growth. That is a good point as well. That is true. I think for the MVP, maybe I am going a bit too hard, but I kind of wanted to see where this goes. And honestly, I really like where we're ending. It should be a flat 2-cent fee. If it's over $10, then use BPS. Don't make the user do math on decimals of a penny. 60-minute pass is too short. Push back on package A. The consultant suggests 0.1% pass for 60 minutes. The fight. This feels like a Parker meter. All right. Honestly, I'm liking this. But I think they're still fighting for a bit. Like, I think these fees are too low. Based on your arguments, create a fee structure for me to copy paste into Replit as a .md file. All right, let's have a look at this. Sway fee structure and experiment plan. You are not innovating on a business model level. It is adding the swipe feature plus going in a niche Solana phone markets. Yes, this is true. For micro trades, no hidden spreads, use transparent fees or all-in pricing. Fees are used as a power-up mechanic, passes or a streak reward. Sway absorbs Solana network fees to keep the UI clean. the game. 5 free swipes per 24 hours. 0 friction to enter. See, this feels too complicated. I'm going to keep it in a doc. But I think I need to simplify things. Fee structure feels too complicated for the MVP. Chances are we'll get 100 users max, and based off of that user data, we'll be able to create a better fee structure. Let's create something simple. Let's start with a fixed fee structure let's start with a hybrid fee structure. Let's start with a simple hybrid fee structure that is fixed on minimum fees, but then dynamic for our larger whale users. What up, Jack? How you doing, brother? Completely new here. What's your project? Currently building a prediction markets Tinder-like swiping kind of app where you can swipe left or right on prediction markets based on your wager, ranging from $1 to $100. We're using the Kalshi API. I think there's a big opportunity in prediction markets right now, as they're generating like $3 billion in trading volume per week. So yeah, we're kind of trying to get a little piece of the pie. Collect clean usage data for the first 100 users without over-engineering the economy. Prioritize one-tap execution with no mathematical surprises. We use a Cliff model. It's easy to code and easy for users to understand. Trade size, fee amount. Micro 0.0 to 99. Flat nickel fee, covers execution plus network. Whales $10 plus is a 1% standard BPS fee for larger liquidity trades. So I need to add context here. For the gas fees, when users first deposit to the app, Sway already converts their Solana into USDC, leaving behind a small amount for gas. Keeping this into account, please iterate on the above fee structure. Note, the user is paying for the gas fees. I think as the app grows, we'll be able to probably sponsor the gas fees ourselves. But just as we're starting out, I don't really want to, risk capital like that. So I'm putting it on the user. And obviously, as our app grows, with economies of scale and stuff like that, we'll be able to reduce our fees and get a better understanding of where we can kind of place ourselves. Looks like Polymarket is 0.1% on US trades. Kalshi is 1.2% on trades, but is concave. So it starts at 0, then goes up until 50% win chance, then back down to 0 as win chance gets closer to 100%. We want the user to keep swiping, and we want to cover the cost of the APIs. There's a clever way to inject feedback. You can use it as an argument to provide fuel for one AI to fight the other. This is in turn have them fight your ideas plus their ideas. Reframing the problem also guides them towards the kind of solution that you want. Sway MVP fee structure. Simple hybrid logic. Order size. Since the user is paying gas, transparency is your friend to avoid. Why is my soul disappearing? Questions. Use Solana for instant settlement. Each swipe costs a tiny amount of soul from your reserve. We've already set this aside for you. Why this works for 100 users. When you display the soul balance in the app, label it as your gas tank. We've already done that. This still feels pretty low. Like I want to now run some scenarios. All right. With the above fee structure, let's run some scenarios where 10K volume, 150K volume, and let's do a big one like 300K volume run through the app. How much would I be expected? How much would the app be expected to generate in revenue? Assuming there is a mix of all user archetypes. Yo, what up, Matthias? How you doing, brother? It's going good over here. We're currently just made two AIs fight each other, and then I've decided that I don't like the direction that they went. So reeling it in a little bit and trying to speed things up actually, so I can kind of get the MVP live. Okay. So revenue projections at $10,000 in volume. 4K is casual volume, 6K is whale volume. You've got $140. $50,000, you got 700 in trading fees. 300,000, you got 4,200. I actually think now that I'm looking at this, I actually think it's too high. You ought to use voice to text for these chats. It's like a 10x speed up to talk instead of type. I recently set up Whisper locally for Claude code, and it's so good and massive speed up for me. Okay. I've been hearing a lot about setting up this voice to text. So I definitely want to try it. Tomorrow I'm actually planning on doing a big kind of stream, just like theory and improving my kind of skill set. So I've got like a Claude code tutorial coming up. I think maybe, was it Whisper? Yeah, Whisper is probably another one that I'd want to set up. So I'll note that down for tomorrow's stream. Thanks, bro. Scenario 1. Is $10,000 volume, $2.5 average, 1,600 trades at 0.05 trade. It's $80 revenue. Whales, $60 revenue, 1.4% average. I feel like that's actually too high. Let me see. So $1, 0.5% of $1 is 5 cents, but 0.5% is 50 cents. So if it's 2.5, it's 12. Okay. Okay. No, that actually makes sense. Okay. Yep. All right. Let's do it. Let's implement this fee structure. So basically what it's doing now is we have more of a fixed / dynamic hybrid kind of fee structure where the smaller users just get a flat fee and the kind of whale users get charged at around 1%. Even 1% feels a bit high. I'd actually like maybe lower it, but for the MVP, it's honestly fine. So, like, that's the whole point of an MVP, right? Is to improve. It's just a test. Please look at the docs. Please look at the API docs. At the API docs and implement the below fee structure. Let's see how we go. Why is this cut out? Okay. What is up? What is up? Welcome to the stream. If you're new here, leave a like, show some love for your boy. We're basically looking to implement the monetization of our app today. So that is going to be in the way of a kind of fee structure. You can kind of see it right here, actually. But we will be basically charging like a small fee for every kind of transaction that occurs. And, you know, it's the MVP as well. So actually, I got to stop this prompt. I forgot to mention one thing. Ah, shit. I should probably roll back here. I forgot to mention that users can also add to their position. So there's actually more than one. I didn't add enough context, I've just realized. I'm dumb. I did a dumb thing. Guys, I did a dumb thing. I didn't add context because right now the AI thinks that this is the only way that users make a transaction, but they also don't realize that we have a discovery tab. We also have a positions management tab where there also should be fees. So let me mention that. Need to add additional context to the app. The swiping is not the only way transactions are made. We also have a discovery tab where users can search the market themselves and place bets. We are assuming that the bets placed on the discovery tab will be significantly higher as users are finding markets they are interested in rather than being fed random ones from the swipe tab. additionally, we also have the position management tab, where users can sell their positions or add to them. Please incorporate these. Actually, considering the user flow, please incorporate these into the fee structure. On average, we'd like our users to pay roughly 1% in fees through our app start to finish. All right, let's chuck some music on. I think my headphones are charged. We're making progress, guys. Albeit a bit slow, but we are making progress. Is this live? Let's go. Let's go this one. If it wants to play through my headphones, that would be much appreciated. Why is it not connecting? Alright, it's working now. And then it's not working, what the hell? What's wrong with the... Technical difficulties, guys. Alright, we're in. Notorious, appreciate the tip, brother. I think I'm gonna just start freeballing now and see where it takes me. Alright. User flow and fee scenarios. Entry swipe yes on a $5 market. Fee is 0.05. Exit sells position $6. Fee 0.15. Total paid on a $5-6 play is 1.1%. The deep researcher bets $100, 0.75%. Sells total paid $1.05. Entry bets $50 in discovery fee 0.37. Exit market settles users fee We don't charge on settlement to reward winners. So user wins. We don't charge on settlement to reward. Okay. Does Kashi charge on? Let's see. Maker fees. Kashi money. Alright, let's look at this. Hey man, just tuned in. Let's get it. What up, Naman Gupta? How you doing, brother? Welcome to the live stream. Actually gonna see settlement fees. There is no settlement fee. Okay, so we're basically doing the same as Kashi. All right, let's run it. I like this. Let's run those volume scenarios from earlier to gauge revenue. For those just tuning in, I'm currently building a prediction market swipe app with the help of chat. Nothorious kind of got me this far, and now I'm freeballing. The whole concept is like a Tinder-like UI where it makes opening positions on prediction markets as easy as a dating app. I think when you go into the site, like for I don't know if you've noticed, but it's very like, there's so many options in markets and what you could do. You almost get like decision fatigue. Like there's too many things going on. So I really just, the whole kind of selling point of this app is to just break things down and almost make it so simple and easy that users can just come in and use the app and not feel like they're, having to think too much. That's kind of what I'm aiming for with this app. Okay. Alright, let's implement this. Let's run it. 10K total volume, 4K comes from swiping. That's 1,600 trades. Alright, so we've reduced the revenue a little bit, but this is good because we're not aiming to really take money at this level or this level. I think if we can get to this level, that's what we're aiming for. So let's do it. Create the .md file for me to copy into Replit prompt. Or maybe I get rid of the technical implementation and just let Replit figure that out. So I just go from here. All right, cool. All right, now we're good. We've had to backtrack a little bit because I am an idiot and I messed up, but we are in the running now. And you know, this is just part of vibe coding. Fixing your mistakes is like 50% of the whole thing. Here are the API docs. Please implement the attached fee structure. We've added a technical, what did Gemini say? We added a technical implementation. We've added a technical implementation section as an example and a guide, but feel free to utilize your own methods based on the docs provided. All right. Feeling good about this. I'm feeling very good about this one, guys. I'll implement the channel-based fee structure. All right, so we've got that rolling. I don't know if you guys remember, but we did a little bit of marketing posts yesterday. Looks like DFlow has followed us. That's nice. It would be good if DFlow actually assisted with the marketing. Worth reaching out for sure. But yeah, we did a bit of posting yesterday. Nothing crazy. We got 3 likes on this one. I feel like we need to definitely improve our content. But we also haven't put much effort towards it as well, because the focus is on the app right now and making sure the app is honestly functional. I now understand the DFlow platform fees API. Let me create a implementation plan and execute it. I'll implement the channel-based fee structure. Let me update the code. So, ideally, to know that this is working, once I execute on a trade, it should send to my developer wallet here. So if I execute on a trade and we don't see Solana in this developer wallet, then we know that the fee structure isn't working. And I think what I kind of want to do is just test a bunch of different trades, try some, maybe even a whale trade, and just see if the different kind of fees are being implemented correctly for the app. Fee account parameter is required. It must match the fee mint. You can use referral account to auto create the fee account if it doesn't exist. Must match the token you're collecting fees in. Your outcome token trades uses a settlement mint token account for other trades. Chain check fee in response. Both order and quote responses include platform fee information. Platform fees overview. How integrators can collect platform fees on trading users using DFlow's Trade API. Allow integrators to monetize their DFlow integrations. DFlow supports two types of fees, fixed and dynamic. Use case integrators building application on top of can collect platform fees on every trade executed through their integration. Platform fees are specified in basis points. For example, a 20 BPS fee equals okay. DFlow provides 3 key parameters for configuring platform fees. Means 0.5% fee. The fee is calculated as a percentage of the trade amount. Can be collected from either input or output mint based on scale. Okay. Anyone else working alongside me today, or you guys relaxing these holidays? Send channel context with trades, check fees are collected correctly. It's running through its checklists. Magnus Carlsen actually went up 1%. I don't know if you guys remember last stream. He was at like 2%. So he's gone up 1%. Could have bet there. So when Replit is done, I'm going to test the fee structure. And we are going to see how that works. If you're new to the stream, welcome. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. I live stream pretty much every single day. I am also a non-dev. I know nothing about coding. So my goal is to kind of prove to everyone that it is possible to create a profitable app with zero coding experience. And hoping to do that live for everyone. I'm sure the people who have been watching me for longer than 10, 15 minutes will realize that my coding proficiency and my knowledge of apps is quite limited. So yeah, if I can do it, hopefully you can as well. Alb, what up? Hey man, keep up the good work. I appreciate it, brother. Hey man, welcome to the dev world. Thanks, Arash. Appreciate you, brother. Welcome to the stream. I live stream pretty much every single day. I even live streamed on Christmas. On freaking Christmas, man. But right now, for anyone wondering what we are working on, we are working on a prediction markets Tinder-like swipe app where you can basically open positions on prediction markets with a simple swipe of your thumb. It's going to be a mobile app. We will be aiming to launch maybe next week. Hopefully today the APK file is ready, which is going to honestly probably take me ages. The architect found an issue with the swipe fee calculation. The 500 BPS 5% cap prevents the full fee on small trades. Let me fix this. Okay. So there is a 500 BPS cap, but they also have a flat fee. Fixed fee. Oh, okay, I see, 0.5% fee. Okay. That makes sense now. So how are you going to fix this? The channel-based fee system is now fully implemented. Swipe tab, 0.05 flat fee, effective 10% on minimum trades, scaling down to 2% on $2.50 average trades. I think maybe we don't let minimum trades even go that low. I think the minimum trade should be increased and set to at least $1. $1 is our minimum fee trade anyway. It doesn't go below that. Discovery tab, what was done? Alright, the channel-based fee implementation is complete. Swipe tab, a flat 5-cent fee. Charges 0.6. Alright, let's see. Let's test this feature. In that case, I would suggest before releasing, pay a freelancer to review the security of the product. So we're actually using Privy for our wallet integration system. And the whole point of Privy is it basically handles the security for you, because you no longer, it's a company made by Stripe, by the way. And these guys are literally built for Vibecoders. Like, their documentation is so good that they've even created a link where you can literally just copy paste this link into your Vibecoding tool, and it has everything you need to know about Privy, and it's really easy for the AI to read and implement features. But they handle everything from the wallet creation, from the transactions being made, and yeah, so they kind of handle the security side of things on the user. But 100% see where you're coming from. I think if the app launches and it's actually generating traction, of course we're going to audit it. We're probably even going to switch from a Vibecoded app to just a developer kind of recreating the app properly. The whole point of Vibecoding, I see, and the I guess benefit to Vibecoding isn't that you no longer need devs. I think devs are still needed, but Vibe helps you kind of validate your idea, and it helps you understand if you want to continue putting resources towards this idea. That's the whole point that I see for Vibecoding. It's not to, create a app that gets 1 million users. I think it's to create an app that generates traction, and then from that traction you understand, okay, I actually want to put more of my resources towards developing this, because you have a more educated guess on whether or not the app's going to succeed or not. That's the benefit I see in Vibecoding. But appreciate your input, Alb. Alright, let's do a test. So I've got $12. Let's bet $1 on this. Trade failed. This market is not yet set up for trading. Please try another market. So these lower volume markets, I think, will be fixed once we have a production API. But because our developer API is quite limited, we have to find these higher volume trades. Tried to make a trade and got this error. Please review. Man, I just want to launch the app already. The development time always takes so much longer than you initially expect, but I feel like we've made some pretty good progress. Like, it's been what, 7 live streams and we're already like ready. I think we're very close. I'm also kind of curious, like, is there anyone else who would like to test this app? I'm sure there would be. The more testers we have, the better. I was planning on just sending it to friends and family, but if anyone help me test the app, probably be ready for testing today. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, let me know. For all the new people joining in now, we are currently on day 7 of our challenge of Vibecoding until I make 100K. Our current revenue is from my previous app that I built called Miner, which is constantly generating between $10 and $50 a day. Our new app that we're working on is Sway, which is kind of tackling more on the prediction market side of things. Would Non's takeover of Warner Brothers succeed? So you know BridgeMind? Yeah, 100%, man. I'm sure, as you can see, he's a big inspiration to my stream. I think part of what he's done is kind of opened my eyes to the possibilities. Like, when I was vibe coding and creating my own apps, I was like kind of creating YouTube videos and shorts and stuff, but I wasn't really seeing much connection with my audience. And so I saw BridgeMind and I was like, hang on a second, like, this looks like a good opportunity to just live stream. And I just moved out of home. I used to live with family and they are a very loud bunch of people, but I just moved out of home and I was like, this is the perfect setup to live stream, so why not give it a go? My first live stream was super fun, and I honestly, I don't think I'm ever going to look back. All of next year, I plan to live stream. And if we hit our goal of 100K next year, then we can increase it to 1 mil. And hopefully it motivates others within the chat to do the same. What up, Ben Robo? What are you working on? I'm currently working on a Tinder-like prediction market swipe tool. We swipe left and right for yes and no, kind of like Tinder. It's clearly not working right now, as you can see. But, okay. Usually when it pauses like this, it's a good sign. All right, trade executed. $1. Spent 1 USDC payout. The thing is, I don't think the actual spent amount is correct, because portfolio value is 88 cents. Now, if I was to look at Phantom, I should have received 5 cents, but I have not received 5 cents into the dev wallet. So let's bring that up. I just made a $1 swipe and no fees were sent to the dev wallet. Please review. I'm thinking the same, man, but I will focus more on AI cybersecurity, even though I am a designer. I think there's heaps of opportunity in AI cybersecurity as well, man. Like, cybersecurity is only becoming more and more sought after now that AI is kind of popping off and blowing up. So yeah, I think that's a good place. It's honestly a bit too complicated for me personally. I like doing more user-focused kind of products and apps, but I mean, to each their own, right? You all got to have your own edge. Might mix up the music a bit. This guy's done a sick job. Is he drinking a coffee? Looks like a tea. Let's go lo-fi. I love my lo-fi beats, man. For those who have, oh, this one looks cool. They even got Ned Flanders in there. All right, let's see this go. Goes for a very long time. Cool. Yo, welcome to the stream. If you're new here, I'm basically doing in purely through Vibecoding. I am a one-man army. I'm a solopreneur, as some would say, utilizing AI as my tools and my artillery to reach my goals. All right, let's see. Now, if I sell this, I should also get a fee. So it's sold. We need to fix the messaging because the messaging is super confusing. Okay. So it looks like the money has come into the balance for the app, but it's still not coming into the developer wallet quite yet. I'm wondering if it's because it doesn't have USDC in it yet. Let me swap. My plan to become a jack of all trades and master all trades, pushing my mind to its maximum. Respectable goal. I've been what you are building, pretty interesting. Thanks, Anon. I appreciate you, brother. Let me know if you have any questions. Why don't you have a co-founder or another engineer with you making the build faster? I mean, my history is I used to run a marketing agency, and through the marketing agency, we would basically work on content for projects, and I specialized in essentially growing accounts from 0 to 10,000 followers, specifically crypto projects on Twitter. And this was kind of just what I was doing for like the last year. And I was grow a team to about like 7 or 8 people. The team consisted of like artists. It consisted of, project managers, account managers, sales reps. And, I just kind of decided that I don't want to keep doing this because it was quite stressful, There were deadlines you had to reach. There were a lot of like kind of because I was in charge of the go-to-market strategy, usually there would be a lot of stress on me to kind of make sure everything runs smoothly. And, you know, when there's 10,000 people coming into a project made from scratch, and the project, you know, doesn't end up doing too well, you feel quite, I felt quite bad for the people that I marketed towards. And so, you know, I kind of left that, made up a bunch of savings, and started working on developing my own kind of apps and projects. And, you know, maybe like about 6 months ago, I developed this project where there are 100 AI agents, and they all kind of are influencers on Twitter, and they all kind of mesh and talk to each other. And this single idea I went to a dev team for, and it probably cost me about maybe 25 grand. And it just took like too long to develop. Like, you know, as someone who works very hard and very fast, I've always found that there is a bottleneck when I work with other people, because, you know, they're not going to work as hard as me. If I hire a dev team, they're not going to work the 14, 15-hour days that I'm working. So I ultimately have to wait and slow myself down. And Vibecoding has kind of brought another side and made things a bit more possible for me, where I can just kind of do it myself now. And the only bottleneck is me. And that's kind of why I usually work alone, if you're wondering, on Pro. But yeah, there's a little background on you guys for where I'm from and how I kind of started. Anon Pro, I would love to join the adventure, to be honest. 10 years of experience on my side, or if you need input. Appreciate you, Anon. Appreciate you. I mean, I'm always asking for feedback from the chat. Nefarious showed me how to kind of get the AI agents to argue against each other to get the best, most accurate response, which is pretty cool. Bit confusing as well, but I feel like I learnt a little bit there. USDC. So I just made another trade and I didn't get the fees. So I just made a sell. I just sold my position and the dev wallet still has not received any fees. I think rather than the user paying a fee through their $1 wager, they actually pay the fee from their available balance. And if there is not enough in the available balance to pay, it then comes out of their wager amount. So technically, when a user opens a position, it charges them wager plus fee. So for example, $1 plus 0. plus X fee. Did you finish your betting app? I'm getting close. We're just kind of setting up the fee structure and the monetization, because just trying to find a good fit. Again, I'm not trying to make it perfect. This is the MVP, so obviously as we get more and more users, it look a lot different to this. But yeah, welcome back to the stream though, Kyle. Hope you've been well. How did you make $1,600 so far? Subscriptions or downloads? So I've actually developed this app called Ore Miner, and it is a crypto trading bot which has generated all my revenue so far. It's consistently getting me $10 to $50 a day in transaction fees, and there's about $500,000 of trading volume that has gone through the app already. But I'm looking to kind of continue developing new apps and have almost a fleet of applications that are all generating different amounts of revenue. It would be cool if I had like 10 different apps and they were all generating, incremental amounts of revenue to add up to something that is a lot bigger. And then with those apps, maybe one of them gets a bit more traction than the rest. I feel like you never really know which app is going to, acquire that attention until you just pump them out, Hello, what are you doing? I'm currently building a Tinder-like prediction market swipe app where you swipe left or right and open positions on prediction markets. We're utilizing the Kalshi API, and currently we are monetizing the app. So we're setting up the fee structure. Why your screen portrait? So I've got 2 streams running right now, Kaya. I've actually got a horizontal stream and a vertical stream because I wanted to see if YouTube, I'd get more discoverability if I created like a shorts version of the live stream. So you're on the shorts version of the live stream right now. So if you want to switch over to the horizontal version, go for gold. Right. So, man, Replit takes so long to set up these more complicated prompts. Let's see how we go. I've actually just set up I've actually just set up okay, this is looking This is looking good. All right, cool. All right. So we've got I've completed the fee charging model update. Here's what changed. Fee system now charges fees on top of your wager. Total cost equals wager plus fee. Okay, let's see if it actually works. So I've just actually set up a TikTok live stream. So welcome to all the TikTokers that are watching my live stream right now. Join us on YouTube if you haven't already. That's kind of where I'm looking at the chat. So, you know, if you want to join in on the building process and stuff like that, then hit us up on the YouTube chat. Yeah, cool. That should just do its thing. All right, sweet. Let's test this feature out. So if I swiped yes on this, trade failed. Of course it did. Trade failed on a pretty big market. 2 million in volume. Please fix. Love it. What up, Oscar? How you doing, brother? Hope you're having a good time. Hope everyone's having a good holiday period. I see the issue. Deflow API is returning route not found because the gross input amount is not finding a valid route. The issue is that the fee calculation change is causing problems with Deflow's routing. Let me revert the original approach where we send the wager amount and let Deflow deduct the fee from it. Okay. Anyone working alongside me, or is it just me? Yo, I'm liking this. I'm actually liking this playlist. I rate it. So what we kind of got to do once it's live here is actually a file. So step one is convert into set up the fee structure, make sure it's working, make sure the developer wallet is actually getting sent fees and they are the correct fees. That's the first step. The second step is going to be converting this into an APK file, which is basically for Android devices. For anyone who isn't familiar, it's like the kind of thing that they use. But yeah, might open these curtains a bit, one sec. All right, so this is done. Let's try and make a trade. The market is not yet set up for trading. Please try another market. Now, it's happening again. There's a lot of errors coming up with the trade, and we actually don't have a production ready API key yet. So I'm wondering if like some of these issues will fix themselves once we get the production API, because we're using a developer API right now. This error when trying to make a trade. For those just joining in right now, welcome. Make yourselves comfy. Currently, I've set out on a mini series where I try to make 100K just through Vibecoding. The past year, I don't know if you guys have seen my YouTube channel, but the very first video that I ever uploaded was called I'm Broke. And it's literally a video telling you guys how I want to move out of home. I'm like stuck at home with family, blah, blah, blah. I don't make enough money to live out of home. Well, things have turned around. I've managed to have a pretty good year in business, and I currently live in my own apartment right now, and honestly it feels pretty good. So one thing that I kind of regret is that I didn't document it, and I wish I kind of did. So yeah, that's why you see me right now live streaming, because I kind of just want to document the entire process this time, and hopefully someone will see it and maybe it'll motivate you to want to accomplish something like this as well. But yeah, welcome to the live stream. Getting a lot of those errors. Is this gonna work? This should work. All right, we've got our first transaction executed. I'm just gonna share screenshots to the AI so it is aware of what's going on. So we've got this one right here. Now, if I was to click on it, 3 shares at 31 cents. If I was to sell it, it's saying I'll get this amount. And I just want to make sure everything runs properly, because it's kind of saying like different numbers in different parts of the screen. Like, look at that. I only got 62 cents. Let's see if I got my developer fees. No developer fees yet. So still need to fix that. Let me fix this first. As you can see, these are all the notification prompts that a user receives when making a trade through the app. There are confusing because you can see when the user makes the trade, he spends quote unquote $1. However, when selling, it also shows $1 was spent, but once the transaction is actually executed, the user made 0.62 $0.62 back with a partial filled label. This is confusing and terrible user experience. Let's show the user the actual amount that is being spent, e.g. trade executed, X shares at X spent, and etc. We need the entire flow of the user journey to be consistent and not show different numbers. Man, my prompting skills are ass. Like, I feel like I could be saying things better, but hey, it's good enough to get me this far, right? Like, we got pretty much a functional, I mean, barely functional app, I guess. Give me one sec. When executing the trade, no developer fees were sent to the dev wallet. Debug and understand why the fees are not being sent. Can we confirm the fees are being Yo, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. What up? If you're new here, I'm currently doing a series where I try to make 100K through Vibecoding. I have like zero technical experience. I have a marketing background myself, so yeah, we're gonna see like, hey, if I can do it, then anyone can do it. Kind of want to also showcase the power of AI and how far and the opportunities that have arisen because of its inception. So far in the series, I've actually already generated around $1,600 in MRR through this app, Ore Miner. This is an app that I built about a month ago, and it's generating between $10 to $50 a day. It kind of varies depending on the market, but yeah, this app has consistent users. I wouldn't recommend you to check it out because you're not my target audience. My target audience is more crypto background related, but yeah, just showing you for reference. Current app that I'm working on right now is a prediction market swipe app. I see a lot of opportunity in prediction markets right now because they're kind of the meta. Like, if you were to look at the total volume of prediction markets, it's mind blowing. It's close to $3 billion in the last 7 days. So I think there is a huge opportunity for, a builder economy to kind of come around, and you're already seeing it with some of these rappers that are generating like millions of dollars in revenue just through showing the information, displaying the information a different way, or gamifying it, creating tools and functions that give their users an edge. If you're trying to vibe code, hop off Reddit and onto something like Claude Code or Cursor and spend time understanding what's being built. This is equivalent to doom scrolling. That's funny. Nah, actually, tomorrow's live stream, I plan to actually just dive deep into Claude Code and almost see if I can kind of switch and export this entire project to maybe Google's anti-gravity is what I'm thinking. I'm pretty sure they use Opus, Claude Opus. But for now, the way that I see it is like Replit was a very good beginner-friendly kind of gateway into vibe coding. I feel like I've grown out of it a little bit. It also charges an arm and a leg. Like, if you guys saw how much I'm getting charged, like this month alone, close to 600 US. Last month was like near around like $1,500 or $2,000. So I'm getting charged ridiculous amounts, and I know there's tools out there that are better that charge way less. So I think I'm being ignorant if I don't switch over. So I plan to do that maybe tomorrow's live stream. I'm not sure if that's something you guys even want to watch, so I might not even live stream it. But yeah, if that's something that you're interested in, let me know and I'll live stream it. But I'm basically just going to be watching like tutorial videos on Claude Opus and going from there. Like, why I liked Replit was because for someone who had zero coding experience, it allowed me to build this from like a couple of prompts. And when I say a couple, it was probably close to a few thousand prompts and about 2 weeks of like 14, 12-hour days. But I'm very happy with how it turned out, and I thought, why not build my next project on Replit as well? But the issue with that is now I feel like, especially starting this live stream as well and hearing your guys like feedback and what you guys kind of think of everything, making me feel like I need a switch and there's better options out there. And one of the live streams, we actually tested out a bunch of different AI tools and found that, like, the best one. We tried to one-shot a prompt to build an app, and it kind of opened my eyes to the other AI tools out there. If you put energy into learning the ecosystem behind Cursor or Claude, it would have paid dividends. Hey man, we're only on day 7 of the series. You know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And this is just part of the learning process, you know. Without Replit, I wouldn't have even known about Vibecoding. So, you know, you got to pay homage to where people start. If people are coming onto the stream and expecting me to be a pro by day 7, you might be on the wrong stream, honestly, because right now we're still kind of in the learning phase. I've acknowledged that I have made a mistake with Replit. Like, it is a shit vibe coding tool. Like, I would not recommend it to my worst enemy. I'm basically playing on hardcore mode, but I do plan to switch over soon. I kind of just want to get this MVP out and then go from there. Because we're like 90% of the way there with this app. It doesn't really make sense for me to switch over for the last 10%. So I'm going to create this app, launch it on the App Store, do a bit of marketing, and then for future updates and stuff regarding the app, I'll probably switch over to Claude Code or Google's Anti-Gravity. All right, let's see. Nah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, MEE79497. But you have a difficult username to say out loud. What do I call you? Me? I appreciate that, me. Feels like I'm talking to myself. For those on TikTok that don't know what I'm talking about, you can head over to YouTube and join the chat. We're basically just talking shit. Emmy's scolding me for using a shit vibe coding tool. I don't blame him. All right. So let's test the developer fee right now. So I'm assuming that when I switch from a developer API to a production ready API, I should not be getting these trade failed issues anymore. So let's see. We need to find a market that has like a lot of volume. This one's got good volume. It didn't work. Let's try this again. This market is not yet available for on-chain. Bro, I'm getting this for every single market that comes up now. Getting this for every market that pops up. Even ones with higher trading volume, over 1 million. I'm going to, maybe let's keep trying. I think there's something wrong with the code, which should be available for trade. I use Google AI Studio. I create an app and a website full connected with backend. How long you been using Google AI Studio for? Someone actually told me in the chat the other day that if you actually have a student account, you can get Google AI for free. Is that true? You can get like a free account. Not sure how true that is, but it's worth exploring. I'd save so much money. I can see the issue. This is why all markets show is unavailable. It's not related to the fee implementation. Look at the logs. I don't think I have production now, so I think Replit's hallucinating a little bit.